the week, the week, the week, the week that was. Thank you for joining me on the week that was. So last week we ended out on the Eastern Conference with Milwaukee being the number one seed. Not the case this week. You had Milwaukee, Boston, Indiana, Philly, Brooklyn, Orlando, Cleveland, and Charlotte in the playoffs currently at that point of time 1 week ago. Now we're looking a little different. Now you have Philadelphia back in first place. They were in first place for a good portion of the year last year. We have Milwaukee in second, Boston in third, 9-6. Pacers are in fourth at 9-7, which is more surprising than not. I didn't think that they were to be that far. I thought maybe a 7th seed at best. I didn't really have them being in the playoffs. I knew that they were going to try to trade Victor Oladipo, which they did, and they're still having success, so good for them. Brooklyn at the 5 seed, which is, I thought they'd be a little bit better, but again, remember what I say. I'm saying it now. They're not going to get past the second round. It's going to be a bad take if it doesn't work out that way, but I'm really confident they're not going to make it out the second round. Cleveland sticking around a 6 seed at 8-8. Atlanta at 8-8 as well. They're the 7th seed, and York currently at the 8 seed. They were the 9 seed, so Charlotte has fallen. They are looking at the 11 seed. I didn't really have them being a playoff team anyway. Toronto has pushed their way up from the 13 seed all the way up to the 9 seed, so if they do that play-in game, they might just squeeze into the playoffs. New York would be a little surprising if they made the playoffs. I don't have them at being a playoff team. Chicago number 10 at 7-9. Let's say Orlando's number 12. Charlotte number 11, like we were talking about earlier. Orlando number 12 at 7-10. Miami will definitely come back. They're a strong team. They'll make some moves, and they'll produce. They'll actually come back. So they're the 13 seed. I have them definitely making the playoffs. It'd be really hard for me to believe that Miami, who went to the finals just a year ago with pretty much the whole team intact, doesn't make the playoffs. Washington, I've given up now. They're 3-9, the 14 seed, and then Detroit, I didn't believe in from the beginning. So I don't see that really changing. I think those will be the 2 worst teams in the league, at least on the Eastern Conference. Going to the Western Conference, so the Clippers are now the number 1 seed. I know, we could all roll our eyes. They're tied with the Lakers. The Lakers will overtake them. I don't see the Clippers ever being the number 1 seed. They'll probably be either 2 or 3, and I see them closer to 2. Lakers currently at number 2, but again tied with same record, 13-4 apiece. Utah 12-4. They're the number 3 seed. I could see them being closer to 4. I want to say. I think Denver will come back and be a strong number 3 seed overall. Last week, Utah was number 3, so they stayed the same. Clippers and Lakers swapped a little bit. You have Phoenix was number 4 seed, and they have fallen to the 7 seed. I think they will be about 4 or 5. I think that's where their seeding will be. Portland moved a little up. They were 5. Now they're 4. And let's see, Denver's 5 currently. Denver was 8th. So they are moving up in the right direction. Memphis is the 6th seed. Memphis was the 9th seed, so they're moving up in the right direction. They got John Morant back early from that injury, so that's good. And very nice to see him back, their franchise player. San Antonio is currently the 8th spot. I don't believe that they'll make the playoffs. They've fallen a little bit. They were the 6th seed, and they've fallen to 8. Not really surprising. Again, I don't see them making the playoffs. Currently, Dallas is out of the playoffs at 8-8. Dallas was 6-5 at the 7th spot. Dallas will make the playoffs. I guarantee that. Golden State surprising at 8-8. I don't see them actually making the playoffs. So I see them falling a little bit in the next few games. Let's say Houston 6-9. I think they could kind of scratch close to the playoffs, but you're going to want to see what I say on Tuesday, tomorrow, about the trade that could be going through. We'll see how that goes down. See, Oklahoma City at number 12, they're going to want Cade Cunningham, so I think they're going to try to tank it a little bit coming soon, but they're doing pretty well. They were the 10th seed and now they're the 12th seed. So, going in the right direction for them, which is down. Let's see. We got Sacramento as a 13 seed. They were the 12 seed last week. New Orleans, 14 seed. It's not looking good for them. The NBA desperately wants Zion in the playoffs, so we'll see if and when that happens. They were the 13th seed last week, and Minnesota still resigns as the worst team in the Western Conference, and I don't see that really changing. If you saw any of the videos that we had before the season, that's what we were kind of talking about. We're like, that's really hard to see them actually make the playoffs. I don't see that happening. So this is going to be very interesting how that plays off for Cat. Again, that's going to be something for another video on Tuesday you're going to want to watch, and stay tuned for that for sure. Now, make sure you like and subscribe. That really does help the channel. Let's see. Last thing that we probably should just note is the biggest thing that would happen, and we kind of talked about it in the last video as much. The Nets aren't doing so hot. The Nets lost 2 straight games to the Cavs. Now, it was in Cleveland, but there's no fans. They lost it. I think they had all 3 of their guys the first night. I don't believe they had Kevin Durant the second night. They still lost. They lost both games. Kyrie Irving is the focus point of their offense. I don't believe that's going to be the case if they want to succeed. I think you're really going to have to go through Harden and then Kevin Durant, just because Harden's the better playmaker. And then Kyrie Irving's going to have to play with the second unit a lot more, I think. And then, down towards the end of the game, Kyrie's just going to have to know it's going to be Kevin Durant's time to shine, because he's the MVP candidate player that's playing right now. He's averaging close to 30 points a game. I think all 3 of them could easily average 30 points a game, but for this team to succeed, I think Durant's got to be the focal point of scoring, and Harden needs to be the focal point of controlling the ball. So we'll see how that works out for the Nets. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said before, if Steve Nash does get fired and they move on and have D'Antonio, which is Harden's favorite coach, being the starting head coach, being the main head coach, and they kind of just move on from Steve Nash. He is a rookie head coach, so we'll see how that goes. Again, if you want to get a little bit more of what I said last video, just go click that and we'll go from there. And tomorrow's Trade Tuesday, so go ahead and listen in to that, see what I have to say. There's going to be 2 big trades potentially in the NBA that could change up how the NBA is constructed for playoff seeding, and we'll see how that goes. I think if both trades go through, which is very possible, it's going to be a new NBA, and it'll be very interesting. So anyways, please like, subscribe. Again, it really does help the channel, so I'd really appreciate it if you could do that for me, please. And I'll see you on the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.